Welcome, everyone, to our listen and repeat class. Today, you are going to have shadowing practice. So, you are going to shadow the way I speak. And if you do that, you're going to sound just like a native because you'll pronounce the words and sounds just like a native. Now, at the same time, you'll learn full natural expressions for your everyday life. So, yes, we will focus on pronunciation, but the expressions that we use in this lesson to shadow are natural expressions that I would use in my everyday life in these specific situations. So you are going to first listen to me say it fast so you can hear how it sounds in spoken English. And then I will say it slow and we'll talk about the pronunciation changes and the meaning of the words or the expression as well. And then you'll listen fast so you'll hear it again. Remember, you have to repeat after me. So you need to open your mouth and shadow. You need to say the words, say the sounds, practice along with me because that's the best way to make sure that you are practicing and getting that shadowing practice so you feel comfortable using these expressions because you know you're pronouncing them correctly. Let's first start with at a cafe or at a store. This is probably somewhere you find yourself every day. Have you been to a cafe today yet? Have you been to a store yet? If not today, maybe yesterday. So, what can you say? This is something that I commonly ask the store. What time do you close today? So, this is the phrase. So, you'll listen to me saying it fast. What time do you close today? Now, let's talk about how it will sound slowly, and we'll talk about those changes. What time? So, notice at the beginning, we have what, which ends with a T, but then we have time, which starts with a T. So, when you combine those sounds together, you can remove the pause between them by dropping the T on the first sound. What time? What time? So when you pronounce the T, you actually say the word time. Repeat after me. What time? What time? Hello, Melita from Austria. Make sure you shadow, open your mouth and shadow. Hello, Hidaki. Hello, all the way to Poland and Bangladesh, to all my students watching alive. Hello, Manuel. Hello, Julia. Hello, Luki from China. Welcome, everyone. So, again, open your mouth. What time? What time do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? So, you have a little y sound from the U, from the Y here. Do you? So, you can just hold that y out. What time do you? Native speakers will commonly drop the U to a ya. They'll reduce the sound. Do ya? Do you close? I personally don't do that, but many speakers do. So it might sound like a faster do you close instead of do you close. Do you close? I find it easier to say the U sound than the ya sound. So it's just a matter of personal preference, really. What time do you close? O's, O's. So get that k, a sharp K, a hard K sound, k, and then O's, close, t. So here, this is an element of syllable stress. We have two syllables, today, but the first syllable is pronounced as a t, today, t. So repeat after me because native speakers do not say today. Today I'm going. Today I am. We don't say that because that's not the syllable stress pattern in English. The first sound is unstressed in this word. So it sounds like an unstressed today, da, today. Repeat after me. Today. Close. So close. Okay, so let's do this now fast. Are you ready for it? What time do you close today? What time do you close today? What time do you close today? Okay, make sure you're practicing out loud. Hello, all the way to South Korea, Jaden. Nice to have you here. All right. So, this is, of course, a question you can ask many different people in different locations. What time do you close today? You could change close to open. What time do you open today if you're calling someone on the phone to ask them that as well. All right. Now, how about this one? I don't need a receipt. What about this last word? Actually, I conveniently have a receipt right beside my computer. So this is a receipt. Repeat after me. Receipt. Seat. So I'm sitting on a seat. Seat. That is the sound. And the beginning sound is because it's unstressed. Receipt. 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 Okay, so you're saying you don't need one because let's save paper, right? Because what are you doing with this? Most likely you're throwing it in the garbage. This is for a business purpose, so I need to keep my receipts for business purposes, for my records, but for an everyday coffee, save the paper and let the person know I don't need a. Now notice here, this T on don't, if I pronounce it fully, then it creates a puff of air, which we don't like having those pauses in spoken English. So you can just say, I don't. So you put your mouth in the T position, don't, but then you don't push out the sound. Hello, Pierre from Montreal. My husband is on a plane right now flying to Montreal. So I hope the snow is not too bad right now. Hello, all the way to Greece, Brazil. Thank you. Thank you. You are the best, Ramiro. Okay, so don't, I don't. Now, what are we going to do with need? Right? Nida, nida. Nida. So in order to combine them together, you have to realize that what I'm doing is I'm pronouncing ni and then da. So I'm taking that D and I'm transferring it to in front of the A. So repeat after me. Nida, 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 nida. And yes, excellent job, Jaden and Sahar. The P is silent. There is no P. No P. Excellent job. Great listening. Okay. I don't need a receipt. Now you know the sounds. You know how to pronounce receipt and what it means as well. So now I will say it fast and you need to repeat after me. I don't need a receipt. I don't need a receipt. So you can volunteer this, or they might ask you, do you need a? Do you need a? So when they ask you, they'll say, do you need a receipt? Do you need a receipt? And then you can say, no, I don't need a receipt. No, I don't need a receipt. Exactly. So I would say, to be honest, phonetically, the R-E is more of a R-U-H. Because it's not re, it's ruh. So it's okay if you spell it like that, but just for yourself, just remember it's receipt, receipt, receipt. So P is never pronounced in receipt. It doesn't matter how you're using the word. Remember that English spelling and pronunciation do not match. English is not a phonetic language, which means, yes, maybe we spell the word this way, but that doesn't mean that's how we pronounce it. You have to learn pronunciation different from spelling. You cannot look at a word and pronounce it based on spelling. You can guess the pronunciation and you may be right, but you could be totally wrong, like in this case. So the pronunciation is always, in every case, receipt. All right. Okay. So a useful phrase to have in your vocabulary, and now you feel confident pronouncing it. How about this one? So I will say it fast, then I will say it slow, and then I'll say it fast. What's the Wi-Fi password? Now slowly, what is this apostrophe S. What is, and then as a contraction. Now, even if spelling does not have the contraction, if I'm reading something on a report and it says what is, when I say it out loud, I'm going to combine those sounds most likely anyway and say what's. So notice that T is also not pronounced what's. Well, it's a flap T, what. So you don't push out the air. So you put your tongue in that position, what? But then when I come out, it's for the S. What's the st, st. So you have to pronounce that S, what's, but then you cut it short and then go to the T. What's the Wi-Fi? Of course, you know that. Everyone knows how to say that. Wi-Fi. Just make sure it sounds like one word. Wi-Fi. What's the Wi-Fi? Password. Okay, so in this case, if you ask this question, you know they have Wi-Fi. So maybe you see a sign that says free Wi-Fi on the front door when you walk in. So you know there is Wi-Fi, but then you go to connect and it's password protected. So you ask them and you can say, excuse me, to get their attention at the very beginning. Excuse me, what's the Wi-Fi password? So if you want to get someone's attention, you would say, excuse me, what's the Wi-Fi password? Okay, so let's pronounce this together. And I want you to repeat after me. What's the Wi-Fi password? What's the Wi-Fi password? Excuse me, what's the Wi-Fi password? All right. All right. And how about this one? So I'll say it slow, fast, slow. Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? Oh, I think I'm supposed to say it fast. Fast, slow, fast. I said it slow. I'll say it fast. Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? So that's how I would say it naturally. Now, you heard me say it slow. So let's talk about the pronunciation changes. Is there. So you might have a little bit of a Z voice sound to combine these two together. Is there. Now, somewhere, this represents all place. Is there all place? Is there somewhere? I can. Now, can here is the auxiliary verb. It's not the main verb. So it's an unstressed kin. I can plug in. So here, and of course, if this were I could plug this in, but not into a wall charger. But this, and then you insert it, that would be plug in. Okay. So notice the pronunciation of plug in. If I say it like that, plug in, there creates a division between those two words. There's a pause, right? So what I do is I transfer that g to the in, and I say plug-in. And then you say them as one word. When you're practicing pronunciation, you can say it slow. You can add a pause between them, and you can exaggerate the sounds as well. Plug in. Now, Aruna, it would not be written as plug in with a dash because this is a verb. So you conjugate the verb plug. So it might be plugging, plugged in the ED, for example. So you don't have a dash between them because plug is a verb. Okay. Is there somewhere I can plug in? I can plug in. Let's just practice that. I can plug in. I can plug in. I can plug in. I can plug in. And then my laptop. You can change it to my phone, my tablet, my iPad. Alternatively, instead of plug in, you can say, is there somewhere I can charge? You can use the verb to charge, which is the same meaning, get electricity, to get power. So to charge or plug in, plug in. Okay, repeat after me. Plug in, plug in. All right. So let's do this fast. Are you ready? Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? All right. So here, notice in this question form, this is a question. And at the end, my intonation slightly rises because this is a yes or no question. If you're asking a yes or no question, then your intonation can rise at the end to show it's a question. So instead of laptop, where it comes down, is laptop. It just comes up slightly. So if you notice, I noticed as I was saying it, I noticed I did that. So I just want to explain why I did that because it's a yes or no question. Is there somewhere I can plug in my laptop? Okay, so this is something that you definitely will ask, most likely at a cafe, but you might do this even if you're shopping in a grocery store or you're in any store and you desperately need some power because your phone is about to die. Because remember, you can change laptop to phone or whatever device you have. All right. Our next one. Oh, so you go to use the restroom, which is what is called in a public place, but there's no toilet paper. There's no toilet paper. So notice how I began the statement with sorry. I'm not apologizing. Okay. I'm using sorry to get the person's attention. So maybe first I asked, where are the restrooms? Where are the restrooms? And then they say, oh, they're over there. So I go to the restrooms and I check. There's no toilet paper. So then I go back out and to get the person's attention, I just say, sorry, but there's no toilet paper. And then they say, oh, okay, I'll be right there. Or they'll help me. So definitely something you might want to say. And instead of sorry, you can use excuse me to get the person's attention, or you don't need anything. If the person is looking directly at you, then you have their attention. So it just depends on the situation. Okay, sorry, but there's no toilet paper. There is no toilet paper. There is no toilet paper. Now, I'm using there because it's the situation. I'm not addressing it to the restroom or you. It's just the room. There's no toilet paper. So let's review this pronunciation change. Sorry, but is also used as an interrupting word. So to get someone's attention. Sorry, but. So really, but is also not needed. It's just commonly included just to introduce or to get someone's attention. Sorry, but now notice I don't pronounce that T on but. Now, you absolutely can pronounce it. It will create a pause. So to smooth out that pronunciation, you can just say, but there's, but there's, but there's no, there's no toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. Okay, so now I'll say it fast. Sorry, but there's no toilet paper. And my expression might be like, oh, I need help. So you can do that as well. Okay. All right. Yes, absolutely. At an airport, you can use any of these, the Wi-Fi, the charger, plug in your phone, toilet paper as well. Uh, the name of the object we use to charge the iPhone. Well, we just call it a charger. So this would be the charger. So if I'm packing in, I'd be like, don't forget to pack your charger. So this would be the charger. And then the where you plug it in on the wall, we call that an outlet. An outlet. So on the wall, I wish I had one. So you see there's my light switch, but if that had the two plugs, that is called an outlet. An outlet. So you could say, is there an outlet? But it's more common to say, is there somewhere I can plug in or charge? So you're talking about the action, but you absolutely could say, is there an outlet? Is there an outlet? Now, some people also would just call it, is there a plug? Is there a plug? That's very just more casual, but the technical term would be outlet. So hopefully that answers your question. Great question. Okay, yes, definitely at restaurants for sure. Okay. Awesome job. Yeah, you could call it a socket as well. Yep, that works. Yep. But with a T, outlet, outlet. Okay. Oops. So with a T, outlet. Oh, right. One word. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Hidaki. Outlet. Out because it's a flap T. Outlet. And then lit has that, it's not let at the end, it's lit, outlet, outlet, outlet. Okay, awesome job, everyone. Now, our next group, plans with friends. Do you have any plans with your friends for this week or this weekend? Or what about last week, last weekend? Did you have any plans with your friends? Well, let's talk about that. And welcome, Sigrid from Sweden, living in Argentina. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, does anyone know what would you say to make plans with your friends? Put it in the comments and let's see if anything you say matches what I might say. So, let's review this. Okay, Paslak, I don't have any plans. That's exactly what I would say. So, very natural. I don't have any. I don't have any plans. I don't have any plans. Awesome. So, how about this? You could ask your friend, are you free this weekend? So that would be fast. Are you free this weekend? Are you free this weekend? So now let's talk about it slowly and then I'll say it fast again. So are you, are you? This will be a very fast are you? Now remember I said many native speakers might say ya, are ya? Arya. I personally don't. There's no reason why. I just find it easier to say you, but you may hear Arya. Are you? Are you free? Are you free? Repeat after me. Are you free? Are you free this weekend? So really, there's not a lot of changes taking place here. Are you free this weekend? Now, same thing, because this is a yes, no question, you can do that rising intonation at the end. Weekend, weekend. Now, you don't have to be overly dramatic about it. You don't have to say weekend. It can just be weekend, just a very slight rise at the end. Weekend, weekend. Are you free this weekend? So let's try this fast together. Remember, open your mouth and practice along so you practice your pronunciation. Are you free this weekend? Are you free this weekend? Excellent job. Excellent. Yeah, everyone's practicing great expressions. Salam. You would have to say, do you want? Now, hang out is a verb. So it would be 2 words, hang out. And then you need the infinitive. Do you want to hang out this weekend? Now that sounds natural. Great job. And sure, I'll pronounce outlet, 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 lit, outlet, 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 outlet. Okay, so you can practice along with that. Excellent job, everyone. Okay, so how about this? Oh, this is a very common expression. So I would definitely text my friend and say, let's grab. Now, grab is an informal way of saying have. Let's have or get. Have or get. So grab is an informal way, but native speakers love using grab. It's very commonly used in American English. Let's grab. Now, coffee, dinner, drinks, lunch, brunch. So you would use this with food or meals. I wouldn't use it with let's grab a picnic, for example, because that's more of an event. So just for your main meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, brunch, or a snack. So your main meals and then the additional meals or drinks. So coffee, tea, or just drinks. Okay. So let's grab coffee. So for the grab, I just put my lips together, but I don't push it out because then that creates a pause. Let's grab. So then I have to create a pause, right? Let's grab coffee, coffee, coffee. So you have that long E sound, of course, but remember the syllable stress is on the first sound, coffee. And then you could have any time reference you want. Tomorrow, this afternoon, tonight at 7, after work, tomorrow morning, whatever time reference you want. So why don't you try this? But what would you say? Would you say coffee? Would you say something different? And when do you want to have this? So try that in the comments. And then after you write it, make sure you pronounce it and say it out loud as well. Okay, so I will say it fast now. Let's grab coffee after work. Let's grab coffee after work. Let's grab coffee after work. No, coffee is not slang. Slang is generally either not standard English and it can sound inappropriate in certain situations. So grab is absolutely not slang because I would use this with my coworkers, my clients. I would use this in professional situations. It's casual, everyday English. And this is the thing you need to remember. Native speakers in the real world, we prefer casual, everyday English. So to me, this sounds natural and appropriate. Okay. Ooh, Hidaki wants to grab nachos. Awesome. Let's grab nachos. Nachos. And you could say coffee. So you can say let's grab coffee or let's grab a coffee. Either one, to me, I don't hear a difference, and I would use both of them interchangeably. No, I wouldn't say some coffee, though. I would just say coffee without an article, or if I wanted an article, I would say a coffee. Now, maybe with a plural one, I might say, let's grab some drinks. Let's grab some drinks. I mean, you can say some. It's grammatically correct. I just don't think it's the most natural choice. I think just coffee or a coffee are the most common choices. All right. Ooh, let's grab ice cream. Absolutely. Yes, this is a great one. Wake up. Let's grab a bite to eat. So this is not being specific about the type of meal. Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, brunch? I don't know. It's just food. So a bite to eat is a replacement for food. So let's review the pronunciation because this is a great one. A bite to eat. Now for the infinitive, I would say to eat, a bite to eat, a bite to eat, a bite to eat. Let's grab a bite to eat. I feel hungry. Very nicely done. Excellent job, everyone. Okay, so this you should absolutely have in your vocabulary. You can use it in spoken English and you can use it in written English, text messages, direct messages, DMs, anything like that. All right, how about this one? We need to catch up soon. I text this all the time to my friends. You can absolutely use these with your family as well. So, friends, family, there's no difference. So, we need to catch up soon. Now, because I have an exclamation point, I might add a little bit of enthusiasm to it. So, I'll say it fast, slow, fast. We need to catch up soon. Now, we already talked about this. Need to. So, need to. We need to catch up soon. So notice here, I'm actually really dropping the D sound, but I am pronouncing that T sound. So need to. Because to catch would become to catch, to catch. We need to catch up soon. We need to catch up. Are you familiar with the sauce ketchup? So ketchup is what most people put on their hamburgers and they dip their French fries into it, ketchup. So the combination of catch and up becomes the word ketchup. Okay? Now just make sure you add the need to. We need to catch up soon. We need to catch up soon. We need to catch up soon. Now I will say it fast. Yeah, exactly. But just change to ta. But this is interesting, creative in, because grammatically you could say ketchup because ketchup also is a noun. So to catch up is the verb, but catch up is the noun form. So it's viewing it as a thing. So if you say catch up, that sounds like the noun form, but to catch up is the verb form. So you can absolutely say that. All right, everyone, we need to catch up soon. We need to catch up soon. It's been too long. Let's grab coffee after work. So you could have let's grab coffee after work. We need to catch up. But then I probably wouldn't add the soon because I just offered after work. So you can absolutely combine those together. All right. Yeah. So you can absolutely say needa, but that would be if it's catch up. So if you're using the article catch up. So in my last example, it was if you were here, Trung, it was a receipt. Do you need a receipt? So that would be needa when it's a noun form and it's the article But here, because it's to catch up, it's the verb form. So you need to hear that too, because that's part of the infinitive. So the to would be reduced to catch up, So that's why it's need ta instead of needa. Very good question. I'm glad you said that. Okay. We need to catch up soon. It's been too long. So you can add that on. All right. How about this one? Do you know this? What is this asking? Okay, now actually, you know what this is asking, but how would you answer this? So I know it's only Tuesday, but for you, it might be Tuesday night or maybe even Wednesday morning. So maybe you're thinking about the weekend. So I want you to put your answer to this in the comments. So the question is, I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. What are you up to this weekend? What are you up to this weekend? I'll say it another way. What are you up to this weekend? What are you up to this weekend? So, did you hear the difference between those two? The first time I said to very unstressed as ta. What are you up to? What are you up to this weekend? But the second time I said, what are you up to? What are you up to this weekend? I personally use the second one more commonly, but you may hear the to being reduced to a ta. What are you? Let's talk about this. What are you? And remember, as I'm explaining this, you can put your answer in the comments. So, what is the answer to what are you up to this weekend? Put your answer in the comments. Okay. What are you? What are ya? What are you? So you or what are ya? So the unstressed ya, but I'll focus on you because that's what I personally say. What are you? So what dar. So I take that T and it becomes more of a soft D sound, D, but then I pronounce or I connect it to R. So it actually sounds like dar. What are dar. But remember, when I say things slow, I'm emphasizing them. But when we say it in fast spoken English, it will be very fast. Dar. But now I'm emphasizing it. What are you up to? Up to. So for the P, you can just go up. And then when you open your mouth, you can pronounce the to, up to this weekend. Okay, I'll say it slow again and then I'll say it fast. What are you up to this weekend? Now I'll say it fast. What are you up to this weekend? All right. Shahab is going to promote his project. Oh, Tech Hub is going to take his TOEFL. Let's say good luck, Tech Hub. You can do it. Woohoo. Awesome. Hidaki will be studying. Awesome. Maria is going to the cinema. That sounds fun. Gael is going to do exercises. Ahmed is chilling at home, relaxing at home. Excellent job, everyone. Okay. Dulene is going to take his child to the park. Excellent. Excellent, everyone. Oh, Glendis is going to volunteer. How lovely. How lovely. Okay. How about this one? Now, I'll say it fast, slow, and fast. Want to hang out this week? Oh, not this weekend. Sorry. I'll say it again. Want to hang out tomorrow? Now I'll say it slow. Wanna hang out tomorrow? So notice want to becomes wanna in fast spoken English. Wanna hang out. So this G here, hang out, it just becomes more of a hang out. So, but I just don't push out the sound. Hang out. So your tongue will go into these positions, but you just don't push out the sound. Hang out, hang out, hang out. And then tomorrow, this weekend, next Friday, Tuesday, whatever the time reference is. Now, notice how I dropped the auxiliary verb, which would be do you. So I dropped the auxiliary verb and the subject, which is commonly done in spoken English or informal English. Okay. So if I say this as a text message to a friend, or if I say this verbally to a friend, it's very common to drop the auxiliary verb and the subject. So I'll say it slow and then I'll say it fast. Wanna hang out tomorrow? So again, I could do a slight rising intonation because it's a yes, no question, tomorrow. So now I'll say it fast. Wanna hang out tomorrow? Wanna hang out tomorrow? Wanna hang out tomorrow? Exactly. It sounds like wanna hang out? And you're right, James. Hang out means spend time together. And we only use hang out to mean socially. So you don't spend time discussing a business project, for example, because that isn't socially. Oh, right. Oh, right. Exactly, Lukey. Wanna is want to. How about this one? We'll go to in a meeting. In a meeting. So what can you say in a meeting? How about this one? I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. We're not gonna make the deadline. Ooh, do you know what make the deadline? Here, make is an alternative to saying meet the deadline. So if you meet, it means you accomplish, you achieve it. We're not going to make the deadline. We're not going to make the deadline. Now I'll say it slow. Were. So this we are is a very unstressed were. We're not. We're not. So I don't push out that T on not. We're not. So I put my tongue in the position. I just don't push it out. We're not. We're not. Gonna, going to becomes gonna in spoken English or informal English for text messages, direct messages. We're not gonna. So let's do that slowly. We're not gonna make the deadline. So make the deadline. Make the deadline. Okay, so now I will say it fast. We're not going to make the deadline. Repeat after me. We're not going to make the deadline. Yes, exactly. To make is another way of saying meet the deadline. Meet the deadline. And yes, this means you failed to achieve the deadline. So the something amazing in this case is just a deadline. I don't know if that's amazing. So just failed to achieve something. It doesn't have to necessarily be amazing. Okay. Yeah, and the opposite would be I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it on time, or you could say I think we're going to make the deadline. I think we're going to make the deadline. I think we're going to make it. You can just say make it if the context is obvious that you're talking about a deadline. Oh, right. How about this one? Ooh. I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. Did you request an extension? So now I'll say it slow. Did you request an extension? So let's talk about this did you. Now this DJ sound combined, DY combined is a J. So did you? That's why you hear that J sound, because DY phonetically creates J. So did you? Now, again, remember I said many native speakers will say did ya instead of you, ya, did ya, did you. So repeat after me and make sure you get that j. Did you? Did you? Now, request, the syllable stress is on west. So this RE is unstressed. Request, request, an extension. So the article an will be pronounced with the word an extension. So it's like you're putting an N sound in front of extension, an extension, an extension, extension. So it's da, extension. The syllable stress is in the middle, extension. Did you request an extension? Now, this is a yes, no question. So your rising intonation. Did you request an extension? I'll say it slow and then fast. Did you request an extension? Okay. Now I'll say it fast. Did you request an extension? Now, an extension means that you want additional time to complete the project. So the verb is to extend, which means to make longer. And you're saying you want the timeline, the deadline to be longer. So you want additional time. Very nice. Very nice. Exactly. Extension to get more time. So more time. And Sahar answered and said, the deadline has been extended. So the verb, this extension is the noun form. You can identify nouns versus verbs because nouns take articles and verbs are conjugated or have the infinitive. But here you have an article, so you know it's a noun. The verb is extend. Extend. So you would put that in the participle form. The deadline has been extended until next Friday. Excellent answer to that. Okay. Now, our next one. How about this one? So, what does boil down mean? Who knows? Put it in the comments. And I'll say it fast, slow, and fast. We need to boil down the recommendations. We need to boil down the recommendations. Now I'll say it slow. We need to. So here we have to boil down. And now we have need. So when you have need plus an infinitive, so to is going to be need ta. Need ta. Remember, ni ta. The D is not pronounced. We need to boil down the recommendations. Recommendations. It's a long word. Recommendations. 5 syllables. That's a lot of syllables for English. Yeah. And boil down, Paslak, you're correct. It means to condense and to condense to the most important or the main. Exactly, Hidaki, to reduce or to condense. So if there are 30 recommendations, but 3 are extremely important, well, then you can take those 30 and condense them, reduce them to 3, the most important 3. And those are the main things you want someone to remember. Okay, so that's what boil down, reduce, condense to the most important or main points. All right, so that answers your question, Mandeep. Okay. Yes, boil down is a phrasal verb. Exactly. So now I'll say it fast and you can repeat after me. We need to boil down the recommendations. We need to boil down the recommendations. Excellent job, everyone. Very nicely done. Okay. How about this one? What does this mean? Have you seen this word doable before? What would be an alternative way of saying this? I will say it fast and then slow and then fast. I don't think that's doable. I don't think that's doable. Now I'll say it slow. I don't think. So here, because think starts with a T, we don't need to pronounce that T on don't. And most the time we don't anyway. I don't think. I don't think. So don't put your tongue in the T position, but when you push it out, just say the word think. I don't think that's doable. So that is, that's. Now let's talk about the pronunciation. Doable, doable, doable. Because we have do and then able, okay? It's not able, it's able, a bull, a bull. But to transition from that O, that oo, and then that we can do, we added a W to help transition. Do, so repeat after me. Do, do, do. That's fun to say. Do, 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 doable, doable, doable. Exactly. And all my smart students know possible. Yes, possibility. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's a possibility because possibility is a noun form. Feasible is a great word as well. Yeah. And if something is doable, it means you can accomplish it. So if you're saying, I don't think, you're saying, I don't think we can accomplish this. I don't think we can do it. So if someone says, this report needs to be finished by the end of the day, you can say, I don't think that's doable. You're saying, I cannot finish this report by the end of the day. That's not possible. That's not feasible. Okay. So this is absolutely a natural phrase that if someone gives you a task or an assignment, you may want to say, I don't think that's doable. I don't think that's doable. All right. Awesome. Awesome job, everyone. Yes, that's doable means can accomplishment. Awesome job, everyone. All right. So make sure you get that doable, doable. Very nicely done. How about this one? Okay. I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. What did the client have to say? What did the client have to say? So now I'll say it slowly. What did the, what did the, what did the, what did the. So when you say it fast, what did the, what did the, what did the, what did the, what did. So this T is not being pronounced. What did, what did, what did. So just say what did. But then did sounds faster. Did. What did, what did, what did. Repeat after me. What did the client, what did the client, what did the. So what did the, those three words sound quite fast. So let's review that. Repeat after me. What did the, 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 what did the client. Now remember what we do with the to say, with the to in the infinitive. It can just be to say, to say, have to say, have to say, have to say. So have is like have to, have to. So if I were to write it out, maybe it would sound like this. I'm just putting it here. Have to say, have to say, have to say. So let's try Just that. Have to say. Repeat after me. Have to say. Have to say. Okay, very nice. Exactly, Claudette. Have to. Very nice. So, what did the client have to say? What did the client have to say? Okay. So, let's talk about this have to say. We use this a lot when you're talking about either the opinions or the advice or recommendations from someone. So let's say your job was to call the client and ask them what they thought of the proposal. After you boil down the recommendations, what did they think? What was their opinion? So instead of saying, what did the client say? You can say that. What did the client say? But when you say have to say, you're just stressing the fact that the client provided their opinion, their advice, their recommendations, or their perspective. So that's how we use have to say instead of just saying say. Have to say just emphasizes the feedback, the opinions, the advice, or recommendations. Okay, so you would reply back and you could say, the client said that. So in your reply, you would just state the client's opinion. Oh, the client was very happy with the recommendations, or the client didn't think the recommendations were doable. The client didn't think the recommendations were doable. So that you would either say positive or negative or neutral. The client needs more time to consider the recommendations. So you would just state what the client said. But this have to say is extremely common when you're asking for someone's feedback, advice, opinions, perspective. Okay, so let's try this again. And I'll say it fast and you can repeat after me. What did the client have to say? So let's just focus on this here. What did the client have to say? What did the client have to say? All right. Now our next one. How about this one? I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. Is it a done deal? Is it a done deal? Now I'll say it slow. Is it a done deal? Is it a done deal? Is it a done deal? So let's talk about this. Is it a? Is it a? Is it a? Is it the? Okay. So we need to go from this S to this IT. We need like a voiced Z. Is it? I. So like zit. Zit is another way of saying pimple. It's an informal way of referring to a pimple. If you're familiar with that word, then that is the sound. Is it? Is it? Is it? And then is it a? Is it? Is it a? So then what I would do, instead of that that strong T in it, zit, I would pronounce it more like a D. Is it a? Is it a? Is it the? Is it a? So if I had to write it out, maybe you'd be like this. Is it a? Is it a? Is it a? Repeat after me. Is it a? Is it a? Is it a? So that's those three words. Is it a? Repeat after me. Is it a? Is it a? Is it a? Okay. And then done deal. There's really nothing changing there. Done deal. Done deal. Undeal. So you would still pronounce that N fully. Un, 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 undeal. Undeal. Done deal. Done deal. Okay, so I'll say it slow again. Is it a done deal? And what does this mean? A done deal? Yes, thank you, Claudette. This a done deal. So this is a noun. It's a something. So that's why you have the article. The article a tells you it's a something. So a done deal. So when you're saying the meaning of something, make sure you include the articles or the infinitives if it's a verb, because that's really important, because you need to remember not just done deal, it's a done deal. So that's an agreement. Yes, that has been finalized. So let's say you were to call the client and ask them to sign the agreement. Now, after they sign or after they give you their credit card information, it's finalized, right? So, if by asking, is it a done deal? I'm asking, did the client sign? Did the client give you their credit card information? Because that is generally how things become finalized in terms of business arrangements. There's either an exchange of money or there is a signature on a piece of paper. Okay, so in a business context, that's what it would mean. Is it a done deal? Is it a done deal? So this is it a finalized arrangement? Exactly as Hidaki said, a finalized agreement or arrangement. Exactly, exactly. Oh, right. Yes, exactly. The contract was signed or money was paid. Either one of those. Yes, very nice. Yeah, and good observation, because is it a deal? And then deal is the noun, and then what type of deal? A finalized deal. So done represents finalized. Very nice observation. Absolutely. Well done. Very nice. Okay. All right. So let me say this again fast and repeat after me. In terms of da sounding like RA, that to me sounds more like perhaps British English, because in British English, I know they use R's, but I don't speak British English, so I cannot tell you about that. However, in American English, we generally do not add R to sounds unless the R is there. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. So let's just do this one more time fast. Is it a done deal? Repeat after me. Is it a done deal? Is it a done deal? All right, everyone. Well done. Well done. So, how did you like this lesson? Do you want me to create another lesson just like this? Well, if you do, make sure you like this lesson, subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. A lot of students asked, when do you go live? What day do you go live? Well, I go live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Time, which is 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you subscribe and you turn on the notifications, YouTube will tell you when I go live. So put yes, 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 yes if you like this lesson. And do you want me to make another lesson like this? I did this same style last week and the feedback was very positive. All my students said they really enjoyed this lesson. So I made another one. And that's what I always do. If my students like a lesson, I'll do it again. So do you want me to do a lesson just like this again? I only do things if you like it. So if you like it, let me know and I'll do a lesson like this again. And do you want me to change anything with this style of lesson? I'm always open to your feedback and hearing your suggestions. So just put your ideas in the comments if you think I could change it or improve it in any way. I always want to know what you think. And it seems like everyone enjoyed the lesson. So I'm very happy to see that. Woohoo! Yangcha liked it. Gaia liked it. Sahar, you're very welcome. Fatul liked it. I'm so happy. Arnaud liked it. Hello, Creative. Llama liked it. Saw liked it. Anonymous liked it. Woohoo, Creative. Awesome. I am so glad. I am so glad. Oh, that's very sweet. And I couldn't ask for better students. Always so supportive and encouraging. It makes me want to keep going and keep making lessons for you. I do post long form lessons on my channel multiple times per week. So I go live once per week, and then you can benefit from all my regular long forms the other time of the week as well. Oh, from Boston. So my husband is flying to Montreal right now, and then he has a connecting flight to Boston tomorrow. So he will be in your city tomorrow. All right, everyone. I will see all of you next time. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and wonderful rest of the week and weekend. And I can't wait to see all of you again. Bye, everyone.